Okay, so we're going to practice some more sketching and equations and applications. So if we look at the sine graph, its base graph is y is equal to sine x. My key values are 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360. Remember, sine starts at 0, 1, 0, minus 1, and 0. And now I want to look, okay, well, what happens to the graph? So anything on the inside will affect x, and anything on the outside will affect y. So then we look at the fact that there is no b value, so it's not going to get, it's like 1. And so this is line, so we're going to add 30. This is y. Anything on the outside affects y, so we're going to times it by 2 and add 3. So if we just add 30, we get 30, 120, 210, 300, and 390. Then we're going to take all of these, multiply them by 2, and add 3. So all my zeros become 3s. This becomes a 5, and this becomes 1. And so now I'm going to take this table, and I'm going to graph it. So at 30, we're at 3. Then we go to 120, and that will be at 5. 210, 3, 300 will be 1, and 390 will be back up at 3. So there's the first cycle. I'm going to highlight that. And now I can pattern. So if I look, there's 1, 2, 3 spaces between them. So 1, 2, 3. I'm back up here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to head in that direction. Now I can go the other way. 1, 2, 3. We're going to be going down. 1, 2, 3. We're going to be going back up. And then we're going to head in that direction. Okay, so I want to do the equation of this graph. So step 1, what is the maximum? The maximum is 3. And the minimum is minus 1. So the amplitude is the maximum minus the minimum divided by 2. So the amplitude is 2. The k value is the maximum plus the minimum divided by 2. And so the k value is 1. So I want to take that k value and I want to put it on my graph. Again, that helps me find the cycle that I want and the phase shift. So it's at 1. So I'm going to draw a dotted line where the midline would go. And now I want to look at what's going on. So I've got starts here, we'll say, and ends here. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I can say that the period is 6 times 30, which is 180, or you could have just counted because we started at 0, you're at 180. Now I say that it's 180 is equal to 360 over b. I can find my b is 360 divided by 180, and my b value is 2. So now depending on the cycle I pick will depend on what my phase shift will be. So I'm going to do 2 different ones. You only need to do one. So I'm going to do this one first. I'm going to take the sine graph, and I'm going to say that the phase shift is none. So if I do that, I have to look. Sine graph is in the right direction, so it means there's no vertical reflection. So we have sine, 2 sine, that's the amplitude, sine. My B is 2, there is no phase shift. And then I add 1. So that would be that cycle there. And that will work. But say I pick something different. Say I wanted a different cycle. Say I wanted maybe the cosine graph. So the cosine graph starts up here, goes around, and comes back up here. Now we're starting a space and a half, and if you remember, space and a half is a 45 degrees. So in this case, I could say that the phase shift is 45 degrees, and we went right, or right 45. So y is equal to 2, and there's going to be no vertical reflection again because I'm starting at the top. I picked a cosine graph instead. My b value is 2. We're going to do x minus 45, and then we're going to add 1. So that would be that cycle there.